Hello, and welcome back to the Mead Hall for today's episode of Tankard Talk, your regular dose of hobby madness. I'm your host Jay, and today I have with me...
John?
And Eliza.
Welcome guys, thank you for joining me for another episode of the Tankard Talk.
Thank you very much for having us. Always exciting to chat about hobby things.
Indeed it is.
It's weird that we do this monthly now. I don't think I've gotten used to it yet.
Oh, it's very nice.
And it's less abusive.
I mean, there's less pressure because, as I'm going to get into today, we are going to be looking at some various projects that have been going on. And when we were previously doing this as a weekly feature, it was quite awkward sometimes when only one of us might actually produce anything every week. So hopefully it works out a bit better this time. So in fact, today we have projects from myself and John, some of which there is some overlap. With that all being said, let's get on with today's episode. Hi guys, and welcome to Tankard Talk, where we're going to sort of catch up and have a quick chat about what's been going on in regards to the channel. And as this is our first Tankard Talk post our return, essentially, it's quite an interesting one because we've had some interesting things going on in the last month or so.
And hopefully this one won't be as long as the last one, because there was a lot to catch up on the last one.
Yeah.
I say that now, but, you know, just get me and Jamie talking and watch this episode runtime go up through the roof.
yeah, we are definitely the problem here.
Viewers can look at the bar and decide whether or not me and Jamie got talking.
Which nicely segues into one of the reasons why some things have changed on the channel, why today's, in theory, going to be shorter, because last time we had a big, long discussion in regards to a certain release that was sort of announced just prior to our previous episode, or our first episode of the new Tankard Talk, which was obviously the announcement of 11th edition. And subsequent to that, during this last month, they also did a box unveiling. So I decided to quickly organise and set up a reaction show so that this Tankard Talk wasn't a ridiculously long episode. In hindsight, that did not work out in our favour whatsoever. Hopefully in future it will do.
The idea was perfectly sound.
Yeah.
Some minor technicalities that reared some ugly heads.
I think we all started to lose our minds a little bit when we did that. I think as well, it didn't help that we were doing it like really late at night as well.
It wasn't supposed to be really late at night, that was the problem. And in reality, if everything had gone smoothly, we probably would have been done by 11 o'clock, but that did not happen.
Instead, it was 1 in the morning.
Yes.
And see, it's a fun game to see, to watch the life drain from us as we go through that episode.
I'm hoping not too much of that came through, but who knows? It's hard for us to say because we were there, we know.
Yeah, there's. I feel like, you know, maybe the delirium is hidden in amongst, maybe it just looks like excitement in the overall one.
But besides Hammer Watch, which was the resulting show of that, we've also done, obviously, the original Tank Talk, but we've also now begun our weekly War Table Battle Report series, which obviously is predominantly inspired by the old White Dwarf system, or way of doing battle reports, and quite frankly, it was just a way for us to get our teeth into doing battle reports while we don't have the technology and the time, essentially, to commit to doing recorded battle reports. Which is something we definitely still want to do and may replace this format. As of right now, this is what we're going with. And so far, it's been quite good. We've had quite a high number of views for our channel. So those of you who are here watching us, or currently, who've seen the previous one and have joined us since we come back, thank you so much for joining us. We are very grateful for the increase in viewership and the extra subscribers, and long may it continue.
It's nice to see. It's nice to see the numbers go up, and I like our style. I like our style. I mean, it's our style. Of course, I like it. But just from the perspective of it, it's nice to have that kind of battle report that does work as background audio. A friend of mine who kind of worked their way back, through the backlog of our videos has said it's really nice just to have something on in the background whilst painting that doesn't need to be watched in the same way. We're good second monitor content, and I'll take that as a win.
I mean, that was the hope anyway, so it's literally nailed what we intended, which is good. We are still refining that process. I mean, as of speaking, I think by the time this one goes out, we'll have only had 3 of those episodes actually go out. And I think if you carry on and watch us progress, certainly by episode 4, quite a lot changes, and certainly by episode 5, the whole format and styling has changed quite a lot as we've figured out workflows and time commitments that we can make to make these things happen, which has mean some things have obviously had to be toned down in places, and hopefully we'll have done it in such a way that makes sense and still works for our intended audience there. Well, as time goes on, obviously we'll hopefully expand on that again, and we will up the production value hopefully as time goes on. I know certain models are already underway, for example, to improve our cinematics.
Yes.
One of which we might see today.
We may potentially see today in our little hobby discussion.
So fingers crossed, the next time we do Tankard Talk, there might be more.
I've got plans for more.
As have I.
We'll get onto that, but we'll get onto that bit in a second.
So one minor little note, obviously I know some of our videos have had some audio issues and have done probably since day one of us doing the channel anyway. We are still trying to work on that and try and get as best we can. Obviously there are 4 of us in 4 different locations. Technically, yes, 2 of us are in the same building, but that's still different. So trying to get the right equipment to interact correctly the way we want it to isn't perfect.
We're all, I think, using slightly different microphones and slightly different setups, and our audio is a mixed bag, to say the least. Yes. And Jamie does do the best he can with the collection of various audio files that he's given.
I mean, most of it is that most of the body work now is done by Els, but I do actually obviously do the actual preparation and making sure it's all ready.
I just kind of sit there and press a couple of buttons and cut stuff that we say that is too ridiculous to go into a YouTube video.
Impossible. We don't say anything ridiculous.
No. It's not me and John constantly on the cutting room floor, I can assure you.
No. Although, what I was just going to say is, just in terms of audio, whilst, yes, we do have audio issues that still need fixing, go back and listen to some of our really early stuff.
Or don't. Or don't.
or don't. Maybe for your ears' sake, maybe don't go back to the real early days. Yeah, there was some questionable microphone setups there.
There was a lot of questionable things going on in our initial attempt at this.
I feel like we need to keep them there just as a nostalgic, like we make a playlist of do not enter. Abandon all hope.
I feel like that's proof though of how, because obviously we've said in a previous video, I think you said it, Jamie, that we are starting to take this a little bit more seriously now. Whereas I think before it was kind of just I don't know, we were kind of all just in for it for the giggles. It wasn't really and it wasn't really something that we were committed to. Whereas I think that outlook has changed now for all of us, and I think that because I've watched a couple of, I've cringed at myself because I've watched a couple of our old videos. I do miss goofing off like that though sometimes, because I mean we really just didn't care. We were all quite sporadic and all over the place.
Hopefully in the future we will maybe go back to some of the older ideas. I think some of the older ideas were really good. It's just we didn't have you guys, the audience, in great enough numbers for it to really kick off. You guys didn't know us very well, and many of you watching this probably still don't know us very well yet and give a toss about our opinions, but hey ho, we're here.
We will share them.
We'll say them anyway.
We will always be confidently wrong.
I think people might started to have an opinion on me, seeing as I posted, I don't know if you guys have seen, the audience might have seen it, but I don't know if you guys have seen it. I posted a sketch today, because I do all the social media. I posted a sketch today where I basically pretended to be Jamie's pile of shame, and I got a couple of comments already being like, how dare you call me out, it doesn't matter if they're not painted, at least they're still loved. And I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody. It's not gonna stop. I will keep making fun of hobbyists for as long as I can.
I nearly made that comment. So the statement of yes, this new shiny thing arrives and immediately gets painted whilst the backlog stays grey. It hit. I was like, oh, is it a targeted attack?
No, because I try and get at least 2 videos out a day on the social media, and every morning I have a brainstorming session of what I'm going to film for that day. I'd already spoken to Jamie about going through his pile of shame and organising it all, because ADHD brain wants to do something.
I don't have a pile of shame, I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. I was like, oh, we just got some new stuff, and he's painted it up almost immediately. And I was like, I can use that. 5 minutes later, I pinged that up on YouTube. I showed Jamie, and Jamie doesn't really do meme content. He doesn't really find it very funny. But even Jamie laughed and was like, yeah, that's good. I like that. Even though it was a jab at him, he was like, yeah, I like that. That's good.
I've got no problem with being the butt of the joke.
No, I know.
It's not a pile of shame, it's a pile of potential.
Nah, it's definitely a pile of shame. I don't care. I'm ashamed of it. I want to get rid of it. Moving on from that and to sort of quietly segue ourselves into the next section. So the next section, we're going to have a look at our hobby progress for the month. There's only 2 people that is going to present hobby progress this week.
It's more than one, so I think
it is more than
that's
one.
a market improvement.
And what's very interesting is there's going to be a slight hint, certainly one-sidedly at the moment, where we're going to present a little collaboration project, so to speak, that's kind of going on between myself and John, which effectively comes down to I really can't be bothered to paint half my models that are 28mm scale. John really doesn't like painting most of his 8mm models, so we swapped. That's not to say that I don't paint any 28mm models. I've got some in mind that I will paint. I know John still does paint some of his 8mm stuff. Maybe will in the future. I don't know. Am I painting all your stuff now?
No. It was clearing the brain space so that I don't do the thing that I always do, which is get too much and then be like, what do I paint?
Overwhelmed?
Yeah, overwhelmed is exactly the state that I find myself regularly in, and I'm trying to be really good with the current stuff that I'm doing. Trying.
In my defense, I could have sent things, but I haven't been in a position to take photos of things at all this week. I was pretty much out of the house.
And I haven't done anything other than hobby-wise, apart from, like, obviously, like, when we filmed battle reports or like, recorded our battle reports, or I did have, like, a building session with I got the new Night Lords Combat Patrol box. However, I put it on the back burner for a bit because of an embarrassing incident I had with Rhino, because I was building it. Jamie was out. I was building it. I was working on it. I was getting really frustrated because the tracks weren't going on properly. And then Jamie comes home and I go, look, I started my Rhino, I started building it. And he's like, oh, that's cool. Hang on a minute. What's wrong with your doors? And I'm like, huh? And he goes, well, you've put your doors on backwards. And I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, yes, you have. Every single door on this model is backwards. And I was like, oh, really? So Jamie then takes all of the doors off and then puts them all back the right way round. And then I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll put that on a back burner for a bit and just kind of just go away and think about what I've done.
It was praising of that one.
It was the fact that it wasn't just one door, it was every single door on that Rhino was on backwards. And I was just like, oh. It was just like, that's, do you ever get like secondhand embarrassment, but for yourself?
That's just embarrassment.
That is just embarrassment. You've just described embarrassment.
No, because it's like secondhand embarrassment from something that's already happened, like in the past.
That's still embarrassment.
It's just embarrassment.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it genuinely was like a fourth wall break, look at the camera moment. Like, that was what it was like.
Well, on that bombshell of a Rhino, shall we move on? We'll see you in just a second.
Harsh.
So here we are in our display area, and we've already got on screen some, I'm going to say lovely models. I don't know who on earth painted them, but they look quite good.
Mystery.
Yeah. Total unknown, that one, isn't it? Obviously, this is my stuff. I say my stuff. This is stuff I've been painting over the last couple of weeks, in between trying to do everything I can to get these episodes out. I found a little bit of time to squeeze in some tanks. But they're not my tanks, they are John's tanks. These are John's brand new Legions Imperialis Dark Angels tanks.
Yeah, which have briefly at this stage been on the channel.
Well, they haven't yet.
Well, then they will be on the channel.
This is the Dark Angels week, if you like.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, so we needed to get your army up on the table, and you had some models that I needed painting, and I had models that you need painting, so it made sense.
Yeah. And a little exchange back and forth, and the green is perfectly nailed. It's exactly what I wanted.
Well, let's have a little closer look at some of them, shall we? Because I've got obviously some close-ups. Let's just pop along to here.
Itty bitty rhinos.
So we have a couple of little tester rhinos. So I just wanted to test out the scheme I was going to do on them, and you had more rhinos than I had painting handles. I just thought I'll do a couple while I'm doing some Land Raiders.
Just oops all rhinos.
Yep. So I've got to do a batch of 10 of these next.
Legion's rhinos are just so sweet. They're just so cute. They're like just so tiny. I don't know. I have a soft spot in my heart for them.
I just want to take them.
I don't recommend it, but
They do look tasty.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad that there's
wrong with
clearly
you people.
Little bit of null oil on there. It'd be exquisite.
I feel like I need like a warning now on this channel. Like, this is not for kids. Do not watch this and go away and do anything these people say. They are insane.
I think we're our own disclaimer. If you choose to follow our advice, you will end up like us.
Anyway,
but yes,
we'll move on from these guys. These aren't the most interesting. I'm sorry, the rhino is not the most interesting. Even the Demios pattern rhino, which I do love, is not the most impressive model in the world. But it was a good test bed to test out a few colours. The main thing I started on actually was the Land Raiders.
Good looking Land Raiders.
Yeah, so these were actually really good. They were I love painting Legion's tanks. They're so quick and easy. As a general rule. There's a slightly better shot there. What's the interesting thing with these guys? Well, it's interesting and annoying at the same time. Because when I've been painting Legion's tanks for the other armies, I like to have accent pieces, like panels or doors or something like that that's got a different tone to them. Which is when I messaged you and said, I've got this idea to do the Deathwing colour on a panel or something on the various tanks, which you seem to be quite happy with. So I thought I'd give it a go.
Yeah. It was either that or bright red, because that was going to be the accent colour I was going to do. But
my problem with the red, as I said to you at the time, is that I think that would clash with the gun casing colour. In my head, the way I work, obviously, is that I like to separate those things as well. So if red is the colour of the gun, I don't want something that's not a gun to be coloured red. So yeah, I went with this. Oh my god, do you know how long it took me to find a recipe that even looked vaguely okay?
Probably about as long as it's taken me to try and find a recipe that looks vaguely okay for Deathwing.
Yeah, because the one that you suggested I couldn't do because I was missing the paint. So I had to try and find a proxy that worked, and it took me 4 paints and about 5 layers to get it right. So I've ended up having to use Ushabti bone, which is a very, very, very not opaque, transparent?
It's a layer.
Yeah, but it's like really, really transparent.
Yes, I know. I know because I use a Shabti bone as like as a highlighting color, like basically just to if I have something that needs to get a little bit like basically just a bit lighter, almost like a glaze kind of effect. I use the Shabti bone on teeth and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really use it as a dry brush color, to be honest. I've used it. I tried a bunch of different sort of creams and tans and even white with various different washes and contrast paints. I couldn't get it, and all of a sudden I don't know what I was doing. I was looking at something and I just suddenly went, I'll try Shabti bone and chuck a wash on it. Oh, and it worked first time. I was like, fucking brilliant. Problem is when I then subsequently tried to paint that colour onto something else, instead of doing the smart thing and basing it in white and then putting Ushabti on it, I just went, sorry, I'll just do Ushabti straight away. 5 coats it took to get a solid colour.
Given, I know Shabti bone as a painter. I'm like, no, you don't do that.
I'm not. I don't use layer paint very often anymore. So I completely forgot how bad it is for coverage.
Great for their job that they're meant to do. Yay. Not good for anything else.
No. It does bring home to me. I really need to get my hands on that bold titanium white. I need to get it.
I can also attest to the fact that the ivory from this is Bold Titanium White by Peracryl, and their ivory is also very good as well.
Is it? Yeah, I need to get those. I need a nice, strong, easy coverage light paint.
It is the most white.
I swear you've been going on about that paint for weeks.
Yes.
The fact that you need it every time I come into the hobby room. If you're doing something with white, it's the first thing that you say. I'm surprised you haven't picked any up already.
Because the only place I know where to get it, it would cost me a lot in shipping.
If you don't have it by the end of this month, I'm going somewhere that will be able to. I will be able to pick it up for you.
Oh, okay. Right.
I will be at UK Games Expo. So at the end of May.
Well, if I haven't got it by then, I might have to send you to go and get me like 20 bottles. I mean, a bottle.
Let's start with a bottle first. It goes a little goes a long way with that one.
Yes, I can imagine.
I think you also had some lamentations on the red as well.
Oh, the red's not so bad. It only takes 2 coats. It's not too bad.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. 2 thin coats. That's fine.
I still don't enjoy it, but it's okay. I can cope with that, especially if there's not much of it.
Yes, little details.
Yeah. So
and the first Land Raiders that you've had with melter guns mounted on the top of them.
It will be, yeah. Yeah, because none of the Night Lord ones have any melter guns on them. Maybe something for the future.
There's a couple of cheeky although terrible range on them.
Yeah, I'm not convinced they're really worth the points, but
I don't think they're really worth the points. I think they might just be very weirdly shaped heavy bolters, which are a little better.
I mean, honestly, like with the like top hatch guns on the tanks, unless you're just trying to make up points, I don't think they're worth putting in. But hey, so anyway, that's the Land Raiders. The next bit, John hasn't seen actually, because I only just finished them yesterday. So we have some Predators.
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Now this is set 1 of Predators, because we do have 2 sets, but I'll just give you a little look at Unit 1. Unit 2 though is my favourite one, because it's got the commander with the sword, which is very cool.
Yes. And I think is this a different loadout to how we usually see Predators on the channel, or
No, this is the exact same loadouts that
This is the same loadout.
I generally have put on all the Predators, I think, because both the Death Guard and the Night Lords ones use the same.
with the bolter sponsons as opposed to
Obviously,
the last cannon.
I think obviously your turrets are all locked down, aren't they?
Yes.
But,
I think it might be the first Predator commander though, because I've got a Kratos commander. I don't think anybody else has had a Predator commander.
I mean,
so that's
I do
different.
have one of my Predators magnetized to be a commander. I just never have. But we all our turrets are swappable, so we can have the autocannons, but all the side sponsors are bolters.
I at the time was getting annoyed and just glued them.
In fairness, I've never gone to a game thinking I wish I had the autocannons.
No, I can't unless you're going against like a real like infantry heavy loadout.
Yeah.
But like if you're running pure infantry and legions, you've got a more interesting time than worrying about.
I mean, honestly,
You could do it, but it would be interesting.
You can. I honestly think all infantry might be the strongest way to play it.
It would be a fascinating way to play that game.
It would be insane. The amount of units you'd have on the table would be astronomical. But I reckon it would actually be probably the strongest way of playing the game. Potentially. Unless your opponent literally was like, cool, I'm going to bring a Warlord Titan with all of the Vulcan Mega Bolters.
No, you just start running things with blast templates and be like, okay,
Nah, you
goodbye.
can't rely on blast templates. You need Vulcan Mega Bolters. They tear through infantry like mad. Blast templates, great idea, but they don't quite do the job that you want them to do in that regard. Yes, Predators all done. I really liked this is the unit where I got the idea for the extra panel.
I really like the little extra panel, just like that little pop of cream in there, just ties it all together.
You will notice there's no decals on any of these yet, mainly because I just thought I'm going to bash these out and get them ready. Whether I get the decals on before I hand them over back to John or not is.
I can do decals. I can do decals.
Yeah. And obviously you got to pop these on the Mead Hall required bases as well.
Yes. Well.
I'll do the bodywork.
Yeah, I'll get the bases done there.
That is pretty much everything I've done so far for our little collab, which is a fair few tanks. I haven't shown it today, but I also have half a Thunderhawk done as well that I've been kind of doing as I wait for things to dry on the tanks. So that's everything I've done currently. We're going to move on to John's rather interesting collection of projects, which
because I can't do one thing.
We expect that from you, John.
Yeah,
we don't get armies from you. We get units of various factions.
Of various factions. Yep. Like a plastic bag in the wind. I just drift aimlessly.
You're like a strange magpie. Like you pick things up and you go, I don't want that one. Oh, that's shiny. I like that. That's me. I want to do that.
I fear this might be some potentially undiagnosed element here that is, I cannot focus, but when I do get a focus, I get a massive hyperfixation for a limited period.
Come to the dark side.
Just saying, there might be something that needs to be analysed there, but who knows?
Oh, I'm sure we've all got something that we need to be diagnosed for. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's diagnosed with anything.
Yeah.
In that arena, yes.
Yeah.
I have a few more, but they're completely different.
Yeah.
Let's move on before we descend into more chaos, because actually we're going away from chaos for a change. So, John, what have we here?
We got an orc. This is one of my Wrecker crew from Kill Team, who is hands down one of my favourite teams I've ever played. But yes, I had great fun. I really wanted to play them in Kill Team. So may have done some cheeky prints of the crew, and yeah. So this one is just a standard tank buster rockets, and it was quite fun. Just basically like from a painting perspective, in terms of the orcs, just go around and just being like, pick up a colour, slap it on. Pick up a colour, throw it on. Was there a rhyme or reason? No.
Generally the green is in the right place, right?
The green goes on the skin, but past that point, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge of just kind of everything everywhere. I was really trying with this particular group to go around and be like, I'm just going to have like a little bit of something for every orc to be like a defining feature. So, for example, like this guy with his lucky armband,
Orc blue,
hence why it's blue. But yeah, it was. I will say that this. And everything that we're kind of going to see, almost everything we're going to see today, has been an experiment in how far I can push contrast paints, because everything you're looking at there was a contrast paint, with the exception of the metallics. It was just a real go at how far can I push contrast paints, and compared to Marines, orcs take to it so nicely, so nicely. You know, the teeth were a shabby bone. We've just been talking about them, but then done with a skeleton horde kind of over the top of it. The goggles, I don't know whether we can see. This was also the first time I was really playing around with using like hard coat in a fun and interesting way. So the goggles have got hard coat in them, so they look like little they look like they're glass. There's hard coat like all around. It doesn't show up as much as stuff. There's hard coat like around the teeth to try and make it look like it's a glistening jaw kind of thing.
Sorry, am I being dumb, or do I just not know what hard coat is?
It's hard coat.
Hard coat.
There's no H. Well, it's
okay.
actually just a gloss varnish, is what it is.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Sorry.
Okay. I've never heard of it before.
So I normally use Storm Shield or I think it's a Vallejo spray on matte varnish, whereas this one's a gloss varnish, which gives it the shiny look, which can, in context, can make things look like glass or screens or slime.
Okay.
Why am I sharing it? It's so wet.
They're all glossy.
Yeah.
This was a I was very much getting into the element of using art coat on these ones because there was some fun with them, which I think we might see to go through and have a look at some of the others.
Yeah, so we can move on to the next one in the list if you like. This lovely little boy who looks like he's an absolute nut job.
Oh yes.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not a missile on the end of that hammer?
Oh, that is 100% a missile. So I will, I appreciate that I'm like the only one in the Mead Hall that actually regularly plays Kill Team, or has played Kill Team for some people. But I will explain in terms of what this guy is. This guy is a demolisher. It literally is. It's a rocket on the end of a stick. You have two ways of using the rocket. You can either turn it around and hit them with the non-explodey end, or you hit them with the explodey end, in which case then it explodes, emanating from them and hitting everybody around it with potentially the most damage that you can do in Kill Team at 18 points of damage.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, that's a lie. Sorry, 72 wounds worth of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
The most health in Kill Team, as of recording, has now gone to the, the Red Terror. So yeah, the Red Terror has the most at 30, and it can kill the Red Terror twice over.
How has that not been FAQ'd yet?
Because the chances of you doing that is you have to roll so insanely. You have to hit with every attack, and then for 4 attacks, all 4 of those hits have to be 6s.
Okay.
And for every 6 that you get, assuming this is all read correctly, you roll 2d6 plus 6. So you'd have to roll every single dice and get a 6.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because in my head I'm like, that just sounds insane. How is that allowed? But now that you explained it like that, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's all I wanted to know, really.
Yeah, and it hits everything, including himself, which is just the funniest bit.
It's so wonderfully orky.
It's so wonderfully orky. It's so, honestly, favourite model. Is it my favourite model of the set? I don't know, actually. I enjoy all of them.
Can I just ask, what he's got the other rockets on the back? Is that because he thinks he's going to survive when he hammers down that thing? They can reload it?
What I love is they're not even the same rockets. It's either that, or it's so that it's a bigger explosion when he does eventually go up. It's like, no, the one hammer exploding isn't enough. I need to make sure that when I explode, it's the biggest explosion.
I feel like this is like the big mech in the back lines going, oh yeah, boy, you put those ones on your back, because when you've done the boomy, you can reload it. But they don't look like they'll fit. Oh, don't worry, they'll fit.
Having just finished reading an orc book, an orc Eldar book, actually, Voidsguard, that is exactly how a mech would react. It's just like, just jam it on the end, it's fine.
Wonderfully orky, I love it.
Wonderfully orky. And from a painting perspective, this one, again, I don't know whether it's super coming out in the picture, but that is ard coat all over that tongue, just to really just make it just look horrible as he's running at you. I don't know if everybody can see, the pupils are painted on the eyes.
Madness.
Absolutely sad.
I have found my hack for painting eyes, in particular. It is, do not use a paintbrush. Get yourself a micron pen. I am using a Gundam panel liner, and just be very, very careful. And that seems to work perfectly every time.
I might have to see if I can get myself one.
Yeah, just something that has like a real fine pen point on it.
Should we move on to the next orc?
Another orc, you say?
I believe there is another orc, and who seems to have a similar style to this one.
But just a big old club.
But instead of a rocket, he just got a brick.
He's just got a brick on the end of a stick. The good old breaker boy.
Oh, I feel like that hammer should have been called the brick stick.
It's a smash hammer, who has one of my favourite rules in the game thus far, just from its name, because every time the rule comes up, the song comes into your head. Because his special rule is break stuff.
I feel like that's probably lost on me, but...
Anybody? No? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Limp Bizkit. Nobody here.
No way, I did just get that. It took a sec, but I got it.
We just dissolve into the ether as you lot make me feel old all over again.
John, you're not even a full year older than me.
Yeah, but occasionally it feels like it. This is hilariously. If you notice, this orc is considerably greener than all of the others.
Intention?
Well, yes, because basically each orc ends up with a different skin tone. This is using orc skin. This is the official, like, if you buy a pot of orc skin, it is the greenest thing in the world.
That is very green. That's like almost emerald green.
It is.
I bet that
looks
great over Stormhost Silver.
Oh, probably would do actually.
I reckon.
I've not tried it. I've just tried it actually on orc skin, hilariously. But yeah,
I reckon that'd be a very, very nice colour over a silver.
I reckon I probably would actually. I need to try. I just love the fact that it's like not the way that anybody paints orc skin nowadays.
No.
It's definitely more of like the traditional orc skin. If you go back and look at like the older versions of orcs, they were very green.
That looks like it was out of the old what is now the old world fantasy orcs,
where they were like green.
A lot of people painted them like super bright fluorescent green.
Everything was bright back then.
Very cool. I like that one. I think we're going a little bit different for the next shot.
Still orky though.
Still orky.
It's a bomb squig.
It's a ditty.
It's a squig with a bomb in his mouth.
It is a squig with a bomb in his mouth, and guess what he does?
Does he
go
blow himself
boom.
up?
He does go boom. And again, it's always the funniest thing. And if they haven't exploded, they get a chance to explode, which is always worth doing. But yes, and that is one that, again, from a painting perspective, was very much like a tactical like use case of art coat. Basically, I was like kept dripping and then like running it down so it looked like it was like a proper slobbery bomb being held in the mouth there as he bounces across the field. Just the most joyous looking bomb squig.
I think if you really want to push the whole slimy thing, I think there's two products I know that might. Well, I know they work. It just depends how you want to do it. Yeah, I think there's something called Yoo-hoo glue or something.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of that.
Very stringy glue.
Yes.
Which some people use to mix in Blood God as well for blood effects, but it also works quite well for slime. But also clear photocure resin.
I have seen that one as well, because I've seen that one used for like water, like water effects and stuff.
Yeah, I've never tried it, so I don't know how effective it is. But
I'm not sure. The Yoo-hoo glue one actually is an interesting one because I do have a thing that I think would look better with that, so I might have to have a bit of a play around with that one.
Let's return to more orcs.
Morks, if you will.
Morks.
Morks.
Morks orcs.
Morks orcs. My oh god, what was this one called? They've all got they all have hilarious names. This is a crusher with his knuckle busters.
I love that for him.
I mean, he just looks like he's cosplaying Imperial Fist right now.
He really does look like he's
yeah, a little bit.
I enjoy that it looks like they're tiny, they're small versions of Redempted Dreadnought Fists. Like, I just want to know, is this an orc that saw a Redemptor and be like, that thing punches? I want them.
I feel like you now need to get like a little Imperial Fist decal and just put it on there.
I mean, I absolutely should. He also is wearing his lucky pants, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, lucky pants.
Lucky pants.
What? Hang on, lucky pants.
Oh, Els, do you not know the orc philosophy?
No.
Orc colours
have power, have meaning.
Oh right, okay. Because it's blue, that means something. Are they blue?
Blue means they're lucky. Yellow means they're flashy, which is they are either the most explodiest or the richest. Hence why all of my boys that are designed to explode are painted up in yellow. Surely you know what red means.
Red go fast.
There you go. The red ones go faster.
Which used to literally work on the tabletop as well. In older editions, if your models were painted red, you got an extra inch of movement.
Red ones literally went faster. Green is the best.
Obviously. What about purple?
What about purple? There's no purple. There's no such thing as purple.
There's no such thing as purple?
Purple's the sneakiest. Have you ever seen a purple orc?
So yes, in orc psychology and literally in everything they do, colours do have supposedly have an effect. And to some degree it kind of works. No one has yet to confirm or deny that purple orcs are invisible.
Although sticklers for the law will be like, there's no evidence of that.
Yes, there isn't. You're right.
Exactly. much like there isn't orc snipers.
Which Space Marine chapter doesn't believe that?
The Celestial Lions. I think it was the Celestial Lions. The Celestial Lions, I think, were the ones that suffered that particular fate.
That's Power Fist Orc.
Power Fist the Orc.
I think we should just call Rogor Orc.
Rogor Orc is such a good name. Oh my god,
that's brilliant.
Yes.
However, we're going to go to one of my personal favourites, actually. Grapple Grot.
The Grapple Grot.
Aww.
I just think
look at that little guy.
This is so funny. I just enjoy it.
I genuinely, I had. So this one isn't part of the same crew. This one is part of the Commandos, which is another kill team that can be much like the Wreck crew, can be taken as a unit in 40k. I believe is the special. So the rule in 40k is that it's a distraction grot. Like in kill team is designed to basically zip around the place and do objectives. He is in his scuba gear, which, as you can tell by the bright yellow goggles and snorkel piece. What isn't quite shown at this angle, you can kind of see it on the arm there. The arm is very shiny because the entire wetsuit is coated in ard coat, so he's just the shiniest, wettest looking grot running around the field.
And the irony is, he's probably been swimming in squig saliva.
Just the idea of this grot is permanently, for no explainable reason, wet because he's wearing a wetsuit.
He just goes around collecting up the saliva from all the squigs and just smoking himself down.
Oh, please stop!
I will say it's just like a small little one on this guy. The gloves, I was really pleased with how the gloves came out because they've got like almost like a woolen kind of texture to them. I wanted to make them look like they were real, just dirty white, like
Formerly white.
Formerly white, but like the vest kind of top.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's that material, so I wanted it to look like just a real grimy version of that.
You can get that quite nicely from that picture, so you've done a good job on that.
It's just running around just being an absolute grimy little grot.
I do have to ask, is the head a separate piece on this model?
Yes.
Because I feel like they missed a trick here, because he's got the wetsuit, so he's got a suit. What if you put a little bat helmet and he becomes Batgrot?
Background. Oh my god. Yes. I will say, the alternative head that comes in the kit. So it's either this one, or like it looks like a seal. It's like a sealed, more of like kind of like a mask to it. Not Batman. Definitely looks more. Let's hit that one. It looks like a gimp suit. There's no other way of putting it. There's no other delicate way of putting it. If you look up the alternative headpiece for this grot, it both is and isn't the one. no other explanations there.
Cool. I've got no notes apart from I think he deserved a bat helmet.
I will happily make another grot. I loved painting the grot. I will happily make another grot. I will make Bat grot. Or do we make Bat Orc and Robin Grot?
No, do it reverse. It'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
Bat Grot and Robin Orc. And Robin Orc, as in he's robbing stuff.
Just a thieving orc. Oh my god, yes.
Next up.
Another rockety lad. We're back to the Wrecker crew.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a Space Marine Desolator.
The Space Marine Desolators might as they might as well be an orc unit for how they look.
Honestly,
this one is one that does have two special versions of the shoulder cannon kind of thing. You can either just take more rockets, in which case then you just get like a one-shot version of a slightly stronger version of the rockets. Mm. Or there's like a special one called a pulsar rocket. It has a ridiculous set of rules that would take too long to explain here. But at the moment, I just was like, what's the easiest one? He just has more rockets. So he just shoots more. That's all he does. And again, with the lenses were the Spirit Stone stuff. So again, they've got like a proper like shiny effect to them. And I think this one definitely shows off the idea of I was just grabbing colours and just throwing them on. And just seeing, like, there was a degree of rhyme or reason to them, but like all of the weapons, in particular, like the rockets, had like green cases. They had like a Creed camo green kind of casing to them, with then just like lots of pops of color kind of everywhere else, and a lot of like wood effects and leathers and stuff like that, kind of all over them.
It's a very cool way of doing the orcs and makes them look. You've managed to not go into the caricature, but you've almost gone in that direction, if that makes sense.
They still hit a little grimdark, but not so grimdark that they're super grimdark kind of thing. Yeah, no, it was riding a fine line with them.
You've done a good job of it. After this boy, we have another
bomb squig.
Another bomb squig.
More fun and explosions. Just on a painting note, actually, this is more of just like the front angle, which shows off everything, and the fact that he just has a mouth full of bombs and a mine underneath him, and just bombs literally everywhere. Painting wise, I need to remember where I got the recipe from, but it's essentially they're painting two halves. So the bottom half is done in Griffhound orange, and then the top half is done in Blood Angels red. Mm-hmm. And basically you just like have a point where they mix in the middle, and it creates this really nice bit of contrast between the top and the bottom, because otherwise you would just like all red, done. And just having that little bit of kind of like a reddy orange into a stronger red at the top just works weirdly well for squigs and makes painting squigs just an absolute breeze.
Do you find that painting orcs is easy then, because it's sort of like solid colours, or
it's not even from the perspective of yes, absolutely, because they are solid colours, but like Marines are solid colours, but I find that Marines don't, in at least from a brush perspective, don't take to contrast quite as well as orcs, because orcs have like so many, basically like everything looks so rough, and everything has kind of like the skin has lots of divots and like areas where the muscle kind of definition gives nice pools where stuff can sit when like as it's drying. And similarly, like squigs and stuff like that, like the more organic something is, the easier it is to do with contrasts compared to something like marines where there's a lot of flat panels. You run the risk of that kind of like that tide marking on it as stuff dries.
It is a lot easier to work with contrast on more organic surfaces. It can be done on Space Marine armour with a brush. Obviously, contrast to an airbrush, easy. With the brush, it can be done. It's very hard though, and you have to have a lot of patience. Because I did do it on my Alpha Legion kill team. That was brushed on contrast, but you have to work in a very very particular methodology. You have to do it like literally every armor panel has to be its own job, and you have to be constant with it as well. Keep moving it around until it's just right. It's a nightmare for someone who doesn't like painting.
It's a funny one because I feel like I don't think, at least from the marketing perspective, I don't think the GW has pushed contrast, or at least maybe they did at the very beginning, but like push contrast as like the beginner paint, which I feel like it would work really well as a beginner paint if the poster boy faction wasn't Marines. I reckon probably even like Astra Militarum would probably be pretty easy to do with contrast, because you've got like all the folds and cloth and things like that, and only limited armor panels.
Even a lot of their armor panels are segmented as well.
So I think there's big panels that suffers with.
Which, to be fair, Astra Militarum, they do have pretty big panels with all the tanks. So, yes. Bomb squigs!
Bomb squigs! We said plural, because we've already had two, but does that mean there's more?
Another one!
Another!
This one is my favourite bomb squig, for I believe the detail that everybody who looks at this bomb squig notices is it's a full bomb that is running the length of the body from a different angle, but I really want to make sure I got that smiley face, because I was doing the eyes, and then I had a moment and I looked at it and been like, that's just such a perfect like surface, and I'm like, that just needs a little smiley face painted on the front of it. So I just marked out the little smiley face, and you can see there with the ard coat on the tongue how glossy that thing looks. Yeah, another one of the having fun with the ard coat there.
Very nice. Moving on from Squigtown,
the boss.
This one is very well painted, by the way. Except I have seen this in person.
He is very cool. I like him a lot. He looks kind of sassy, and I love it.
He has got vibes. I had a moment of realization as I was painting him that his belt buckle is his face, because it's like a little orc skull wearing the exact same cap. So I had to make sure I painted the cap on his belt to match the cap on his head, because I feel like that is exactly how an orc would be. Of just like, no, it has to all match.
It's interesting because this particular model as well, like this aesthetic of this model, has featured in 2 Games Workshop animations. It's featured in the Kill Team trailer from the previous edition, I believe.
Yes, from the first edition
of the new version.
Of the new version, yeah.
So he's featured in that, and he's also in 3rd episode of the Tithes animation on Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, the one with the Sisters of Battle in.
No, that's a separate one. He's not in that one. It's all about getting the tithe from a planet that's being invaded by orcs, and it's a Cassican unit, basically.
Because the other members of the Wrecker crew that were... Sorry, not the Wrecker crew, the Commandos, that were in the animation for Kill Team are in that Sisters one. I'm pretty sure they are.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back and watch that and have a look for them.
Pretty sure the orcs in that are other members of other like Commandos ones. So I wonder if there was a little bit of like reusing stuff from it.
They very well might be. I know the orcs in that are snakebite commandos. I know that much. Yeah, so I just find it quite interesting. This particular model has actually been quite literally used in 2 animations.
Literally used everywhere. Again, I think I'm trying to remember. If you look at like the official paint job of it, there isn't quite as much variation in color. This one actually is a point which I will highlight. The jacket is one of my favourite contrast paints to use now. Snakebite leather. Oh my god. You want something to look like leather, you dry brush that, and you hit it with snakebite contrast. just instant leather. It's such a good leather. Just such a good leather. Every single time I've used it, I'm like, this just the best.
It's a leather in a bottle.
And if you want a darker one, something like Wildwood or Grox Hide, I think. Or
I have the third one. I can't remember what it's called now.
Something Hide.
Oh, I use
Hide.
I use Garak Sewer, I think it's called.
I've got that one as well. Actually, I haven't used that one yet, but I've got that one as a just because I've got lots of like leather bits on the orcs. I figured that I would just have like variation, just so they're not all the same.
Oh yeah, you can't have too many leathers, especially if you paint Emperor's Children. Moving on.
Moving on.
What have we got here?
I don't know. I can't see it because because that purple shirt.
Oh right.
On my orc sniper.
I mean, that is one hell of a sniper.
Yes, there is. Okay, this sniper rifle. There is a scene that sticks in my head, and I fear that only Jamie might be able to walk with me on this one. And this is entirely reliant on you remembering something very specific.
Okay, let's go.
Do you remember the animated Clone Wars TV series?
Of course I do.
Not the one that everybody thinks about, the CGI one, but the Genndy Tartakovsky one.
The one that I very recently had Elswatch, actually.
The ARC Trooper episode, which is done entirely silently apart from talking at the very end. Mm-hmm. There's a bit, you see this droid lining up a sniper shot, and he pulls the trigger and it's just a full auto, just hail of gunfire everywhere. That is this orc. In my head, that is this orc every single time it tries to... It's like, aim. Just gunfire downrange. Because, yeah, that is absolutely this orc. Yeah, just good fun. And one little detail, which I think you might just be able to see poking out over the top of the rifle, is he swapped out one of his teeth. He's got a bullet instead of a tooth now.
It's a lovely little detail. I like that.
Just got a little tooth that's a bullet now. I also enjoy, if you look, there's like the bullets on the back are not the same bullets that look like they go in the gun. They're just entirely randomly different bullets. I'm like, yeah, that's how that works. Sure.
I'm just thinking, if that orc's got his the bullet in his teeth, I'm really hoping he's not a smoker.
Or bites down too hard when he's concentrating.
Good in it with a mouthful of lead.
I mean, would that not be the orky way?
Well, yeah, I think there were many orcs that would be okay with going down that way. Next one up.
Just a regular commando-y lad. This is just one of the... Actually, this was the first of the orcs I ever painted. He's delightfully disposable, given his red shirt.
He does go fast.
He does go fast. He does go fast with a big old chopper and just get stuck in.
And those big yellow grenades that are just blindingly obvious.
Of course. Why would they not be? The yellow ones explode bigger. That's why they're yellow. The lenses on this one, just as a point of note, I wouldn't do it on every single model, and I definitely wouldn't do this if I was going to try and do this across an army. I was just like, I wonder how this would look. And I properly did, like, dark blue to lighter blue, working up and up and up and up to get, like, a gradient effect, as if it was, like, light kind of, like, reflecting down onto it. So it's not just solid, it is, like, line and line and line to try and get that proper, like, lens effect on it. Which I think looks really good, but does take a long time. Where, and it's something like Kill Team where you've only got, in this case... I think I'm trying to remember how many models there are in the Wreck Crew. It's like 9 models, and like in the Commandos, it's like 9 models or something like that. So it's not a huge number you have to worry about.
It is when I put it into context that you have multiple kill teams, armies to paint in addition to.
Hence why I say I'm not going to do it again. But I wanted to give it a go to see how it came out.
I mean, it looks like you've done a bloody good job, but you never catch me doing that. Moving on.
The first of 2 bosses for my Wrecker Crew.
And they've got missile pistols?
Missile pistols. Of course they've got missile pistols. Why would you not have missile pistols if you can have missile pistols? They're 2 rocket pistols, because why have 1 when you can have 2?
Akimbo pistols, but with missiles.
Akimbo rocket pistols. Yeah, this is the Wrecker Crew knob, who is outfitted with 2 Wrecker pistols. If I can just get everybody to for a moment, really draw your attention to the hands, because this is not just any orc boss. This is the sassiest orc boss, because I went round and painted high in the brightest one I could, pink nails on this orc.
Beautiful.
And it is one of my favourite details I've added to an orc yet. I was like, this boss, he likes his nails painted pink.
I mean, I feel like maybe he's trying to hide them.
You yassified him.
Yes, I did.
You yassified an orc.
Yes,
Oh my days.
Yeah. I mean, there's such long nails on the hand. I was like, how can I not paint these to really accentuate them out?
Wait, you know that Peter Griffin meme where he's got like those long like acrylic nails and it's just like that's him. That's this guy. I love it.
Yep.
Amazing. I love it. I approve.
But I wasn't happy with just having one because I saw another model and I went, I need to have. So I actually have. I cannot use both of these at the same time because they are ostensibly the same model in terms of kill team. But the other one, which I think we've got next, he's a bit bigger.
He's a little bit blue.
He's a little bit blue.
He's a very lucky orc, if that is indeed meant to be an orc.
Well, it's not really meant to be an orc.
I didn't think so. Look, his face looks a bit wrong.
His face looks a little trolly. There is a print out there for the crew being led by a fantasy troll that ended up in 40k.
I mean, in fairness, there probably is one somewhere.
There probably is one somewhere. So I was like, I need to have that guy because he just looks so happy. He's just having the best time.
I do appreciate this one. He looks very cool.
He's having a good time. I'll tell you who's not having a good time. That grot that's got jammed into a grenade on his belt. If you see the face of this grot is just the most concerned face in the world. Which, to be fair, makes sense. It's inside of a grenade.
Do you reckon it's just a distraction grenade? He chucks it and the grot's just got to go BANG!
It's a flashbang.
No, it's a flash git grot.
Just a guy just a troll having a good time. This isn't a thing that is modeled for advantage. This is a model for disadvantage because you could just see him anywhere on the field because he's that much taller than any of the scenery. But he's having a good time shooting those guns.
So is he actually scaled like a lot bigger than the orcs? Is he?
Yeah. No, genuinely.
So he's like scaled like a troll.
Not quite like a troll because trolls are big. But yeah, he is taller than the kind of the current scale for what would be the equivalent of like a knob in it.
Okay, that's quite cool.
It's a print, so you could scale it to any size. But yeah, he's a bigger lad. He's basically to the top of the boss's pole. Okay. If I look at it, he's like the top of his head is the top of the boss's pole, which is why I was like, he doesn't need a pole on his back as well. He's big enough already.
Nah, that's very cool. I like that. I also appreciate like the other fantasy races just eking their way in there because it builds the hope that one day we'll discover that the Skaven have already been in 40k this entire time.
Oh, I'm sure they have. You know, they're currently the Skaven are fighting on the planet against the Exodites, and whenever Games Workshop is like, okay, guys, we need to make all of the money, release the box set, and it's just Skaven versus 40k Skaven versus Exodites, and be like, yes, now we make all the money.
I would love that to be true, but sadly, I think because Genes to the Cults exist, I just don't think we'll ever get it now.
It's just the 40k we're broke edition.
The final Hail Mary.
Yeah.
You just phase out Genes to the Cults and replace them with
Skaven.
with Skaven instead.
I think there's a lot of people that would probably be okay with that. There'd be a lot of people who weren't, but I feel like...
I mean, all of the Genes to the Cult players.
I remember that Skaven exist. I do not remember that Genes to the Cults exist.
Oof.
Catty bitch.
Harsh words. Harsh words there.
I mean, I like the Genes to the Cults, but I would be okay to sacrifice them on the altar of the Horned Rat.
I mean, you could definitely get away with just... I mean, many people have just... If you wanted to play Skaven as Genes to the Cults.
I mean, I at one point was going to do exactly that.
You were.
I remember that madness.
Other things took precedence. Moving on from big pistol guys, I think we're moving on to something a little bit different before we get onto the finale of this section. What do we have here?
It's a little something for you.
Oh, isn't it just?
Part of Jamie's, Chaos Cultists equivalent,
Yes.
but made out of Necromunda models.
Well, not just Necromunda models, but there will
Not just
a
Necromunda.
significant number. So basically, what I want to do is I just want to grab like all the cool human kits that aren't just Cadians. Basically, anything that represents gangers or street level characters, and turn them into Chaos Cultists. So rather than being like the traditional cultist kit that you get, although I quite fancy at least one of them being mixed in, you just grab a mix mash of all these different characters and put them together to make it look like a proper like uprising kind of thing.
So yeah, and Jamie was like, just follow your heart in terms of colours, and somehow I ended up doing Harlequin colours. So you can see there is very clearly a delineate. There is like, it is red and blue alternating, going all the way down across this model. Yeah, I think in terms of it, there's a little squad of them. I'm probably going to try and keep the guns relatively the same, but but the bodies with different elements to them. All of them do have, and this one has on its back, they all will have a point on them, which is done in Alpha Legion colours, because, of course, they're all secretly part of the Alpha Legion, so you'll need some little bit of identification to say that they're part of the Alpha Legion secretly.
But it needs to be subtle enough that I can use them as cultists in all Legion armies.
So just like a back panel in a tealy blue isn't something that would immediately stand out.
The odd stripe here or there, or maybe like a tattoo or something, anything like that. Just like little tiny little hints.
Just little hints, yeah. But Necromunda models, and again, this one was contrast paints all the way down, apart from like the metallics, which went over separately. This was my first attempt trying to do a zenithal airbrush as opposed to a dry brush to get stuff ready for the slap chop approach. Yeah. But this was Black Prime, zenithal grey. And then a very light, it did still have a dry brush, but a very, very light dry brush of white over the top. So much more kind of like a grayscale initially, and then hit with contrasts over it. But Necromunda models are really nice to paint. They've got lots of nice little details and greebles and stuff like that to kind of pick out. I've been trying to decide in terms of whether I keep with my ard coat obsession and ard coat the boots. They look like they're like just thigh high, like plastic, like the real shiny leather boots, or maybe just a standard matte varnish over the top of it.
I could be convinced either way.
Yeah, I'm not going to say they're all going to have leather boot, the shiny leather boots, but I feel like the thigh high black leather boots, if they're made to look shiny, just make them stand out there.
No, you've done a phenomenal job, and I cannot wait to see the rest of them.
Yes, yes, the rest of them are on the docket. There was just something that I wanted to get done first.
I've got a few more kits I want you to have a go at too. So
I'm more than happy to have a go. Like this is especially with the remit of make them all different. So
you'll have plenty of fun with that, because I've got at least another 20 models you can do. That contribution. Now we have something very special, which is going to be very, very important going forward for the channel. Shall we have a look?
I don't think the team knows about this one yet. Yeah,
we'll just let us pick up a drawer in a second. What have you done here, John?
I just painted a lion.
Just casually.
Just quite a significant length of time painting up the lion. So this is probably the most I've poured into a model. I know, but I don't feel bad about pouring it into a model, given that it's a Primarch.
I mean, it's fucking gorgeous, and you can keep that in.
So it's still due a top coat of varnish before it's done. And there's still like some little bits here and there that need touching up. Like once top coat's on, then the shield gets all the jewels and things like that. Obviously, the head is magnetized, so I can either have him with the big old wings, the bear helmet, or the two different types of the hooded helmet. But yeah, this one is also the first time that I properly sat down and kept notes as I painted, so that I could go back and like replicate, because I was taking breaks between each bit. It was also almost entirely painted in sub-assemblies, and then slowly put together after each stage was done. Like, that cape was an absolute nightmare to do. The sword, I did lightning bolts going down it. It took a while. This one. I'm very proud of how it's turned out.
Hey, you should be. This is top tier work.
The base still needs doing, but
just look at that green on that cape. It's gorgeous.
The white wings on the backpack. I was like, yeah, that's going in there as well. It's not quite box art. There's some variation compared to box art, but I will also say that cape was painted once and then repainted again because I got it to a certain stage and then looked at it and I wasn't happy with how the seam lines came out, so I stripped it back, redid it. After going in and basically, this is also the time I made up sprue goo so that I could fill the gaps properly and then sand it down and everything like that. It has been a bit of a labour of love in terms of this one, and hopefully that comes across in terms of how it looks. I also had to modify the backpack because the backpack, the Iron Halo, is only designed for 3 out of the 4 heads.
Right.
So it doesn't work with the winged helmet.
Because
it's basically designed to sit just above. So if you use the winged helmet, you're meant to not put the Iron Halo on. I want the Iron Halo, so I kind of had to slide it back a bit and trim away and level it out so that it would still sit nicely. Mm-hmm. The shield was actually taken a little bit in terms of painting wise from how you do your Thousand Suns, because that is gold with then a red contrast over the top of it. I really wanted to make sure it tied in but looked a little bit different, so the gold's just a little bit different and the handle just a little bit differently compared to the line himself, so it's part of the model but you know that it's not.
It's borrowed.
There is a detail which, unless you look at the model and you roll it round in your hand, you wouldn't see. All of the power nodes on the back of the shield are painted. And not just painted in silver, and then had a thematic, the contrast put over the top of it so it looks like they're all glowing. And it's behind the shield. I did it and I was like, why did I do this to myself? But I know it's there. It's just a little bit for me. Yeah. Whenever I look at it, I'm like, I know it's there.
We've all got stories of things we've painted. I'm like, why did we do it?
So he's now due a varnish coat over the top to seal in all the paint, and then base is next, along with the watchers to kind of go on the base. But they should be hopefully a little bit quicker compared to the Lion himself.
He's genuinely incredible. I hope you know that. You should be really proud of it. You should be really proud of him. He's amazing.
I'm quite pleased with how it's going
out. You should be.
It took long enough, but this is definitely, I think, where I enjoy painting is just being like, I'm just going to pour time into this thing.
It is wonderful, and I have to ask: are we going to ever see more Dark Angels coming across your paint desk?
I think we probably will see some more Dark Angels coming across my paint desk. Okay. There definitely needs to at least be a proper kill team, or two. But also, I was just going to say, definitely characters.
There's definitely one character that you're going to have to do, isn't there?
There's definitely one character I need to do. But at least the lion isn't going to go anywhere.
No, I mean, it looks phenomenal and well done. It's all I got to say. That is going to look phenomenal in some close-ups. Just mean at some point I've got to voice the lion, channel it in a dance. Amazing. Well, I would say that is a very cool and very successful haul for the month, really. Right, well, that's been a fantastic haul of miniatures that we've had a look at, which obviously I'm going to say because some of them are mine. Let's wrap up for today and we will close out and say goodbye. That is all from us here at Mead Gaming today. However, I would like for you guys to take a moment maybe to drop us a little comment down below and let us know whether you have any particularly special or memorable models, something you're particularly proud of, like John's lion. It doesn't have to be a Primarch, of course. It could be something that you're just really proud of. It could be the tiniest grot. And if any of you have painted up a bat grot, please send it, because I want to see it.
I want to make one now.
And while you're down there, obviously, please do like and subscribe to our channel if you are willing and able. And don't forget to check out all our various social media channels where you can send us your models for us to have a look at, but also have, hopefully have them featured in a future episode of Tankard Talk, so that we are not just focusing on what we're doing, but we can also share what the community is doing as well, and sort of inspire each other and build a fun little community of hobby projects and motivate each other.
We want to see fun models is what we want to see. Is what we want to see.
Yeah, and obviously you will eventually see all of our fun models in some way, shape or form regardless, so it'd be nice to see other people's as well. That is all we have time for in this episode today. I'd like to just thank you one last time for showing up. We've had a great time. So the only thing left for me to say really is thank you very much for joining us one last time. We have been your team here at the Mead Hall, and we will see you next time in Tankard Talk. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Ta-ta.